Georgia, home of Super Bowl, whatever number this is. I am your host, the Alpha Hill 7, and I am pleased to have with me, right before his game, Coach Brent. Coach Brent, what is going on, buddy?
How's it going, man? Just wanted to drop by quick, say hi to the show before I start my game. I was getting a little bored looking at the screen there, so.
Absolutely. And Brent, I got a couple questions to ask you before you go. I hear about these pre-game rituals that you perform before each important game. Tell me a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah, man. It's pretty in-depth. I always about an hour before a match, I'll go check the stats and stuff, grab a coffee while I'm doing that, and then, hey, man, then I got to take a poop once the nerves set in and stuff. You know, it's the nerves push it out, and that's not for all games. I mean, if I'm not worried about it, then I'm probably fine. But if it's someone that I know I got to get up for, it's coming out.
I totally understand. I'm with you on that. I've actually done that a couple times. I think I told you as well, man. I don't know what it is. It's like these important games are like great laxatives to just move the bowels, right? I mean,
yep. Cleans you out.
Who thought we would be talking about poops on the pregame show of the Super Bowl tonight? I mean, I know I didn't think so. What about you?
Hey. Well, what did that take? Like 2 minutes? So
2 minutes to talk about that. So let me ask you, man. What are you looking to stop Doss? What does Doss, like, from what you've seen? What does Doss do well that you have to be careful with, and what you have to be able to stop?
It seems like he's getting to the quarterback pretty good, man. Khalil Mack and some of the other guys have a lot of sacks, right? So we're just going to try and get rid of the ball quick, neutralize him, and hopefully score some touchdowns.
Yeah, and that is one thing that he is really good at, is that what I know is like just basically moving the ball down the field. And I actually talked about that earlier. Let me ask you this. What is something that you're wanting to get, obviously don't give me all your details of what you're trying to do, but something that you're really wanting to I guess, accomplish here in the first quarter. Obviously, I know that a lot of times you're just trying to get a feel for your opponent and everything, but what are you trying to accomplish maybe to start with the game?
Yeah, I mean, I want to get rid of the ball quick, man. I want to set the tone right away that my O-line is not letting him by. I want the O-line to start out strong, put Mac on his ass, and then if we can do that, I have full faith in my defense to take care of the rest. And I
apologize if I don't already know this, but tell me any guys that are not going to be available to play tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, let me just pull up. One of my other coaches has my report right here for me. We had a couple tweaks in practice before, but the only guys who aren't going to be able to go here are Alex Okafor and Cam Meredith. Okafor is dealing with an arm, and Cam's dealing with an ab issue. Nothing that's going to affect them next year, but they won't be able to participate tonight, which is unfortunate because they worked real hard to get here.
Yeah, and I know you had actually said something to me about Meredith being a big receiver for you, definitely in the clutch games and everything. So I know you're going to be able to miss him. I'd hate to say I'm sorry I put him out, but come on, I'm not sorry.
Yeah. No need to be, man. That's all good.
Exactly. So, yeah, so we are anything else you want to say before you kind of get ready for your game?
Nah, good luck to Doss, man. He's a great competitor. He's a buddy of mine. We've always chatted with each other basically since the start of the league. I'm kind of hoping, I really want to win myself, of course, but I'd also be excited to see him get that first Super Bowl. I know it'd mean a lot to him, and I've got a couple already, so either way, I'll be happy. Just looking for a good game.
Absolutely, and good luck, Brent. You both deserve this. You guys are great users, great admins, and a part of this league. So I think I touched on it earlier. I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'm just hoping for a good game. You both are good users, very methodical. It's going to be exciting to watch. So thanks for joining in.
Hey, no problem, man. Look forward to watching the show after my game tonight.
Absolutely. Good luck, and have a great game.
Take care.
All right, and that was Brent, the owner, coach, whatever we call them, of the New Orleans Saints. So it was nice to have him drop by and kind of give us his insight on what he wants to accomplish tonight. Obviously, with pregame jitters, he doesn't want to give too much out of what he wants to do, but obviously he's going to definitely try to be able to move the ball. Again, we had talked about this earlier. If you guys didn't watch. We are, I think the really big matchup of this game, I'll actually talk about some players to watch here in a minute, but obviously the turnovers. Both of these teams are really, really good at capitalizing on turnovers. So that's going to be something that definitely watch during this broadcast. I'm excited to see that myself, and I know others are as well. So, yeah. I was supposed to have a guy join me, but he is not available. Give me 1 second here. And I hope I sound great for everybody. I don't know if there's any type of sound system or anything, but it's like rebooting. Sorry about that. All right, so it looks like I will have a commentator with me here. One thing I did want to touch on, though, is that following the broadcast, we will be talking about the player of the game and kind of talking to, celebrating that win for whoever ends up getting the Super Bowl. So all these, I hope you do like the graphics that are on the screen. I had to kind of throw it together last minute. We want to do something special for this Super Bowl. It is the first of this Madden cycle, and honestly, again, I know I keep slobbing the knob, but these guys are great guys. Both of these guys. Honestly, I would not be upset if either guy won. They're both really good guys, and they really did fight the gauntlet to get here. In my opinion, the Saints had to go a little bit more than what the Raiders did, but it doesn't mean that he's not any better or any worse. So I think he's going to be a great game. A lot of guys are. Do me a favor, get in the chat. Tell me what you think the score is going to be. Tell me your prediction. Give me your prediction right ahead. I want to read some of these off and tell me why you think that. I'd love to be able to hear that and be able to just kind of talk about that. But with that said, let's go into a couple players that we want to watch. First player I want to talk about is Khalil Mack. Yes, Khalil Mack. Look at the sacks, 29 sacks. That means this guy is averaging over almost 2 sacks a game this season. So this is something that Brent is going to have to watch out for. I know he didn't say anything about that, but I know in the back of his mind, he is going to be watching at where Khalil Mack is on that field, whether it be on the right side, in the middle, down. I know Dolph likes to mix it up a little bit, but if you look on the screen there, 39 tackles, 29 sacks, 8 forced fumbles. That means that either when he's getting these tackles, he's stripping the ball away. This is a guy that can definitely change the pace of a game and change the momentum for Brent. So this is going to be someone that I am going to keep my eye out on, and I'm sure a lot of you will as well. Khalil Mack, obviously, in real life, did get traded to the Bears, but we are playing a fantasy Madden league here. So, yeah, so that's kind of where we're at, and we are going to go into the next player to watch, which is, I got to give it to him, Drew Brees. I know we talked about him a little before in the unfiltered episode, but Drew Brees, man, this guy is having a heck of a season. He's got 23 touchdowns. Not the best season he's ever had, man, but he had a pretty good defense and pretty good run game. So he hasn't had to do a lot of stuff. So I want to see what he's able to do. He's going to have to limit these turnovers, because if not, the Raiders are going to pounce on that. That's one thing that Brent's going to have to do, is be very methodical as he moves the ball down the field. He is not going to be able to just dink and dunk all over them. Aries, is that you?
That is me. What is up, Alpha Hill?
What is going on, buddy? I want to announce everybody. This is Aries. He's our Eagles coach. This is your first season, right?
This is my first season with XCFL and my first connected franchise.
Awesome, awesome. So, before we get into this, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, a little bit about myself. I am a dad to 3 boys, an avid football fan. I coach high school football here in my town in Michigan. Outside of that, I'm a U.S. Army veteran.
Thank you for your service.
You're very welcome. And a diehard football fan. Even my wife knows, because I'm a married man. Once football season starts, the world ends.
It's on, right? As soon as football starts, it is on. I totally get that. We have a little bit of the same background, and not with the military stuff, but you coach as well, right? Is that true? Tell me a little bit about that. That is true.
So I'm the offensive coordinator for a JV football team. That's high school boys, so typically sophomores or freshmen. I've been doing that. This is my 4th season at the high school level. Other than that, I've coached probably 6 or 7 years of youth football teams. Absolutely love working with kids. It is the greatest, bringing up the youth of football. it's rewarding as can be.
Here's a good Halloween trick.
And that's awesome. I do want to say we are very excited to have you in the league this year, and I think that you're going to do awesome. So, with that said, what we were kind of talking about before you got in here, we're talking about some of the players to watch. My two players to watch is Mac and Breeze, Khalil Mack and Drew Brees. You have some you and I talked a little before, you have some very interesting insight on who you think some of the players to watch are. Can you kind of tell me about that?
So here's what I would tell you. One of the guys that I definitely think that we should watch out for is a wide receiver duo of Martavius Bryant and Amari Cooper, right? Both of these guys are younger, newer players to the NFL. They're only in the first 5 seasons. But combined, they combined for 100 catches on a year and 2,300 yards. They also had 11 touchdowns. You know, as far as I'm concerned, any receiver duo that you have in the NFL, that's massive. You're definitely going to win a lot of games doing that. The other players I would watch out for today, outside of that, is we're going to go overhead to the defensive side of the ball, and that would be Marcus Gilchrist. The guy's got 3 TDs on the season, 1 fumble recovery, and 3 picks. He definitely knows how to lock it down, and once he gets that turnover, he's taking it all away. That's just almost guaranteed.
Now, if you obviously, you don't have to give me so who do you think's going to win or anything. If you want, you can. But you know, who do you think has the advantage going into this game?
So I definitely think the advantage lies with the Saints. I think the Saints are actually going to take the win, and let me tell you why. Number one, they have the number 6 defense in the XCFL, right? They got a tough defense. They're very hard to score on. They put up 50 sacks this season. I mean, dude, any team that's putting up 50 sacks is obviously doing something right. But the biggest reason, the number one reason, is its turnover margin, right? The Saints are, let me look at this. I got the number for you. The Saints are plus 27, I believe it is. No, they're plus 17 turnover differential, whereas the Raiders are only plus 1. If you're telling me that means we're 17 more turnovers and we've turned the ball over versus the Raiders only plus 1, that's a huge gap. And I think that's going to be probably the biggest key to the game. If the Raiders can control the ball and not turn it over, they got a shot. But if the Saints defense says anything, they're gonna take a few balls away, and it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and I actually touched on that. I alluded to that in my Unfiltered series. I really think that whoever controls the turnovers, I know it's an easy thing to say, is whoever has the most, least turnovers is going to win the game. I really think that's the case in this game. Both of these teams really like to force that turnover. And if you look at the stats, one thing that really sticks out to me, the Oakland Raiders are actually in the top 5 in almost every offensive statistical category. They're 3rd in overall yards. They're 2nd in passing. However, their rushing game is only averaging 65 yards a game, which I think Brent has to be looking at that and saying, look, I've got to keep this game in front of me. I've got to be able to slow down that passing offense. And I think that could be a huge advantage for him. So, any last thoughts before we go? I think that they are heading on the field as we speak here.
Last thoughts. Here's what I'll tell you to look at. Look at Khalil Mack to have a big day, but look at Derek Johnson in his 13th year out of Texas. He is the absolute tackle leader for the Raiders. He's going to have a big game.
That is great to see, and I think I can. I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a game. So we are going to go down live as we get the kickoff here. And for some reason, we have the wrong game. So give me a second as I figure this out. I'm sitting here like, what is going on here? And it looked like they were
What's going on?
Yeah, so let's see. Actually, I think that they are not live yet. So I do apologize about that. I'm like sitting there looking at it. Actually, they are live, and we've missed some of the game here, so that is definitely my fault. We will get this up as soon as we can.
Oh, I see us. Here we go.
Yeah, so I apologize about that. I have the wrong I have the wrong thing in there. So let's see if we can get the right game in here and get on the field. Sort of embarrassing here. And I'll just kind of go over everything as it goes. The Saints have the ball first, and they are actually, they throw it. It's out of bounds. No, they call it a catch. Are you seeing what I'm seeing right now?
I'm seeing it here. They just called a catch on that, and really, I think the booth needs to review that. I think he might have been out of bounds.
Yeah, if I'm Dawson that one, I'm definitely calling for review, but it doesn't look like he looks like he's going to let it stand. So first down, and they come out in the I formation. Run, I think it's Ty Montgomery. Nice juke. He almost gets the first down. He's a couple yards short, and we head into 2nd and 3.
Hey, man, Ty Montgomery's a big back. He had 134 attempts this season for 529 yards. I know the numbers aren't huge on that, but he's consistently getting 4 yards a carry. So look out for him the rest of the game to definitely move the chains and keep him on schedule.
Yeah, one thing that we're going to talk about a lot here is trading away Alvin Kamara. Is this going to penalize him? Is he going to see the effects of that? So far, he is not. So we go into 2nd and 3 in a shotgun formation. Breeze has all the time in the world. Gets it to his running back all the way down to the 30-yard line. Again, Ty Montgomery with the reception.
You know what's really kind of cool, though, about Ty Montgomery? You know, he was a wide receiver in college. He wasn't even a running back. He played wide receiver, did all right, but really when he came to the league, he transferred and switched over to the running back position out in Green Bay. And it looks like he got traded here to New Orleans. And definitely, I'm telling you, he's a player to watch this game.
Absolutely, and I think that's why he was actually wearing the 88 number in Green Bay. So we come out, again, 2 wide receiver set. New Orleans runs the ball, but it looks like the Raiders were ready for that one. They send the blitz, and they stop him for a 2-yard loss on the play.
Man, that's a good job of the Raiders there playing a run there. What they did is they just took the Saints off schedule. It's 2nd and 12. Right here, we're going to look up to dial up a play. I'm anticipating it's a pass. I definitely see somebody that the Raiders are going to go to here. Probably Michael Thomas. He's got to be the #1 receiver for them. He's a second-year player out of Ohio State. The boy's a stud.
He's definitely someone to look for. They go into empty set. Drew Brees back. Gets enough time. Gets it. Oh, no. Ted Ginn almost pulls that ball down for the touchdown, but it does bring up 3rd and long.
Man. I really thought he was going to bring that one down. That would look like a catchable ball there. I think that's just a drop. They're leaving points on the table. You can't do that here in the Super Bowl, boys.
Absolutely. And they're in an empty set again. 5 wide.
3rd and 12.
Drew Brees, enough time. Gets it to his tight end. Tight end spins around. Gets all the way down to the 13-yard line. 1st and 10.
Now, here's a fun little fact. Josh Hill, the tight end, the guy who just caught the ball right there, he's a big-time receiver. He had 44 catches on the year, 734 yards. He is the #2 pass catcher for the Saints. You can definitely tell Drew Brees likes him.
Yeah, and that's one thing I looked at when I played him. I knew that he liked his tight end, and he also liked Michael Thomas. Those are the 2 guys I was trying to key in, and we saw it right there. Good point there. And they come out in a 2 running back set. Both are running backs in the backfield. Gets a draw to Montgomery. Montgomery down to the 11-yard line. That's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Now, if you're the Saints, what are you going to play the safe? Are you going to try to put the ball in the end zone?
You know, I'm definitely going to try to put the ball in the end zone because here's the deal: the Raiders do not have a great red zone defense. Right now, they're giving up points 87% of the time when the offense gets in the red zone. So right now, you got a really good shot at getting points. You might as well try to put it in, kick a field goal on 4th if you don't get it.
2nd and 7, no pressure at all, and he gets a touchdown. The slants ended up being wide open. For some reason, he sent 5 guys in, not one. Oh, wait a minute, we got a booth review. It is upheld, so they did get the touchdown, but there was no pressure on Drew Brees. They're going to have to get pressure on him, wouldn't you think?
You know, if you're going to stop Drew Brees, you have got to get pressure in the backfield. If you give him all day, he's going to pick you apart all day long.
Absolutely. So they get the early score, and I have to say I'm sorry about the earlier malfunction that we have, but we are live again here in Atlanta, Georgia for the Saints and the Raiders season 16. This is our first season with the new Madden cycle. So the Raiders and the Saints live here on XCFL YouTube.
You know, so here I'm excited to see the Saints defense come out here right now, right? They got the #1 D for points allowed in the XCFL. They've given up just under 12 points a game. That's going to be real exciting to watch the #3 offense.
Absolutely.
Points up on them.
And one thing, SJB, the Dolphins owner, brings up a good point. He said, where the hell was Mac at? Mac has been non-existent. And here we go. First down, Cook over the middle. Gets the first down, gets to midfield. What a great pass. Great patience and pocket presence by Derek Carr on that play.
Hey, Derek Carr is a player. He threw for over 4,000 yards this year. I'll tell you what, he's definitely a big player to watch out for this game. If he has a good game, we might see the Saints defense crumble. You never know.
Sup, Jason Hartley? He says, sup, guys, been a minute to rep my boys. Go Doss. So go Doss indeed. Doss has the ball. Oakland at the 48-yard line with 2:55 in the first quarter. Great first play by the Oakland offense. Let's see if they can back that up again. They come out in a three wide receiver set with two running backs. And a shotgun. Derek Carr stands. All the time in the world. Over the middle. And Coates. Sammy Coates could not bring the ball in. A great throw by Derek Carr. But Coates had some coverage on that. Lattimore specifically. And he could not bring down the ball.
You know, you can see there Carr had some time in a pocket. When you give him time in a pocket, he's definitely going to throw strikes. That's just a drop, a big drop right there.
Absolutely. And they come out in the I formation. It looks like the Saints are showing the blitz. He sends his receiver out to the outside. Carr almost gets sacked. Great blitz by the Saints. They almost get him. 3rd and 10 is going to be going on here soon. It looks like the Raiders call timeout. It looks like they are switching a little bit. They're realigning their line here a little bit. While they do that, tell me a little bit about what you see from their offense so far.
What I'm seeing is the big strike ability of their offense. You know, granted, they did have that one big drop there by Coach just a minute ago. But at any time, the Raiders can definitely hit you for a big play. They definitely have that going in their favor.
They definitely do, and that's one thing that I talked about earlier is how well Doss could just gain yards at the snap of a finger, and he's really good at these long plays. So it looks like Brent is playing a little bit safe. Other than that last blitz, he's playing a little bit safe to kind of keep the offense in front of him. Very smart because he's fantastic in the red zone. One of the best users I've ever played. So he comes out, 3rd and 10, shotgun formation. Looks like they have Coleman in the backfield.
So it looks like we're going to see a cover 4 here, which means your flats are going to be open. This is a good, safe 3rd and 10 defense here.
Looks like they're waiting here. Carr, plenty of time, throws in double coverage. Coleman cannot hold on to the ball. What was he thinking on that pass?
You know, honestly, I don't think he read the defense. The defense did a little bit of moving pre-snap. The linebacker shifted out. I don't think he knew what was going to happen there.
One thing SJB brought up, very interesting, that Doss came out all passing here. He did not run the ball once that entire drive.
You know, here's the thing, though. When you look at their stats for the year, they only had 600 rushing yards out of their top running back. He averaged 4 yards a carry in Tevin Coleman, but he wasn't a big focus of their offense. Their focus was this young receiving core with Amari Cooper and throwing the ball with Derek Carr.
You are absolutely right about that. It looks like the Saints are coming out in 3 wide with a tight end on the left. Pistol formation. Looks like Drew Brees is making some adjustments at the line. Plenty of time. They cannot get to him. Over the middle. Thomas is wide open. The linebacker lights him up, but he keeps a hold of the ball. And now they're at the 30, 1st and 10.
You know, here's what I'll tell you. The Raiders definitely have got to get some pass rush going. Because right now, they're not getting any pressure at all to Drew Brees. If they just keep letting him sit back there in the pocket, he's going to pick them apart all day.
And
I mean, there's a reason he's #1 all-time in passing.
And I have to acknowledge Mike Chadwick, the Giants owner. He's crying in the chat about that. So, 1st and 10. They run the ball. Raiders do a good job of bottling up that for a 1-yard gain. This is going to bring 2nd and 9. Neither team has really effectively ran the ball.
That's the thing, is you have to be able to run the ball effectively to open up that pass game, unless you're Drew Brees and you have a ton of time. I think both teams need to go back and reestablish this run game as we move forward.
Absolutely. They're going to have to put some pressure on Brees if they're going to win this game. I formation, Brees, again, all the time in the world, wide open over the middle. His tight end, you had talked about that. You alluded to the fact that he loves this target.
Hey, what is not to love about a big tight end that's a matchup problem for nickel cornerbacks, linebackers? It doesn't matter who you put on him. He's a matchup problem. Keep throwing the ball, big fella.
The Saints' offensive line has been phenomenal this entire year. They have given Brees, a great ample amount of time to be able to sit back in the pocket and evaluate his choices here. 1st and 10. Oh, it looks like they hit him hard with the user stick there. Irvin, he doesn't get anything on the play. That brings up 2nd and 10.
Well, you talked about the Saints O-line. Right now, I think they're playing out of their mind. They give up 49 sacks this season. I don't know about you, but that's the 4th worst sack percentage in the NFL. Really, Raiders, D-line, where you at?
The crazy thing about this, as we bring up a 3rd and 4 situation, Khalil Mack has been non-existent. This guy was 2nd in the league with 29 sacks. He hasn't even got any he hadn't even got his hands in his face of Brees. They have to be able to get him going, or somebody else going, because it looks like Brent's is driving the ball right down the field. SJB brings up a good point. He says they're having problems covering the middle of this field because I think that they are bringing the pressure in the middle, and they're not getting anything there.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. If you got a good quarterback that can sit back there and read what the defense is doing, you're often going to find holes in the middle when your D-line is not getting pressure. You bring linebackers, replace them with a receiver, and there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So it brings down 3rd and 4. Looks like the Saints are bringing out 3 wide receivers and a tight end. And it looks like interception. The Raiders picked the ball off. And if you notice, that was the first play that they got any type of pressure on Drew Brees.
Hey, that's the mark of a good defense. Once you get some pressure, you make the quarterback make mistakes. No quarterback likes to get hit. No quarterback likes to give up a sack. Keep bringing the pressure and win the game.
So Oakland gets the ball back. I formation here. Looks like the Saints go in their 4-3 base formation. Looks like Derek Carr's making a couple changes here. The fullback completely misses the block, and they are able to capitalize on that on the thunder smoke inside blitz.
It's really a credit to the defense there, making that big play and just shutting that block and making a big play. Because, they're facing a good running back in Tevin Coleman. That boy came out of Indiana, had 2,000 yards his junior year. 2,000 yards. He can play.
Oh, he definitely can. And they got him from the Falcons this season. They gave up their first. 2nd and 13, they come out in the I formation again, and he gets sacked by who else? Kenny Clark. I had said earlier that they better be able to hold him back or they are going to have a long day. And Kenny Clark gets in there within seconds.
Hey, Kenny Clark is a big-time player. He's one of my players to watch today. He had 15.5 sacks on a year and 5 forced fumbles. I bet you he gets in there again, you might see a ball on the ground.
And for those of you who don't know, Kenny Clark was involved in that trade for Alvin Kamara, so that's why he is on the Saints roster here. So it brings up a 3rd and 19 situation. They come out in a pistol formation. Derek Carr has all the time in the world. Gets it over to Amari Cooper. Does he hold on? No, he drops the ball. Derek Carr is 1 for 5 at this point.
Yeah, that is a rare drop out of Amari Cooper. You don't often see him miss the ball. Just get back there in a huddle and fix yourself, big fella.
Yeah, very, very impressive defense by the Saints so far. the Raiders offense has to do something to get going, because it could be a long day for them if they're going to just rely on their defense to slow down this potent offense of the New Orleans Saints. So as we move on to the second quarter, 1st and 10 at their own 17. If you're the Oakland Raiders, what do you do to try to manage some pressure or try to force a 3 and out?
Obviously, you have to get Khalil Mack involved. I don't know if you dial up a stunt, if you dial up just a blitz with some good man coverage. I don't know, but you have got to get Khalil Mack going.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're coming out in a 3 tight end set, bunched up. He's making some pre-snap adjustments. Stretch play to Royce Freeman. Another trade. Jukes gets a nice little carry there for 5 yards. That's going to bring up 2nd and 5.
You know, Royce Freeman's a big player for this offense. I know he's a little new. He's a rookie out of Oregon. His senior season, he had 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. I mean, the boy can flat out play. Get him the ball.
They had to give up Mark Ingram for him, but I think that they were wanting to get younger in the backfield. So a good trade by Brent on that one. Oh, look at that! They almost get the sack. And I don't know how that didn't happen, but for some reason they batted the ball down. That ball went right to the defender, and he just batted it down. That should have been an interception.
That should have been an interception for certain. I mean, the Raiders' defense has 23 interceptions on the year. They know how to take the ball. That's just poor execution.
Absolutely. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They're coming out in a shotgun formation. 3 wide receiver and 1 tight end set there. Uh-oh. He does get them offside, so this is a free play. And, of course, with the free play, they get the sack. Khalil Mack is called. He wasn't called for the offsides, but that brings up 3rd and inches. That's a huge blow to this Raiders defense.
Comes down to 3rd and inches. Man, you know what? Here's what I tell you. Put your big fellas in, run the football, get 1 yard. You know, if you can't get inches on 1st down, I don't know if you deserve the 1st down.
I don't know if you got to hear any of the pregame, but everybody thought you were Brent. They said, how is Brent commentating and also playing the game at the same time?
Nope, definitely not
3rd
Brent.
Inches, wide open down the field. Michael Thomas, they look to strip the ball, but they can't get it out. He is at midfield, the 49-yard line, and they are now in business.
You know what? I actually really like that play call. Everyone, including myself, expected the run on that play. It's inches, get yards, and they came out throwing.
Brent is very methodical, and when you think he's going to run, he's going to pass, and vice versa. He's a very methodical user. Not very surprising to me, someone who's played him twice. 1st down and 10. Great blocking by the Saints offensive line. Allowed Ty Montgomery for about a 5-yard carry. That's going to bring up 2nd and 5.
You know, second and 5 is a great way to stay ahead of the stick, stay on schedule. That's a great first play, because here's the deal. The Saints don't have a great 3rd down conversion percentage. So they're sitting at 47%. So they can move the sticks before 3rd down. That's definitely a big benefit.
Absolutely. And look at Montgomery. Falls forward for the 1st down. Probably about 7 yards on that carry. Gets him down to the 38-yard line. They are moving the chains, and this is exactly what the Saints wanted to do. You know, so let me ask you this, Alvin. If there is one player on that defense that needs to step it up right now besides Mack, who do you think it would be? I think it's Bruce Irving. He had a nice play at the beginning of the game, but he's got to help him out. He's got to be able to put some pressure on that quarterback. I think the entire defense is going to have to step up big time, especially Garrett Conley. So my answer is probably Irving and Conley.
All right.
But they do get a nice stop there. It's 2nd and 11. They try the toss. The Raiders weren't having it. They were expecting that. So it puts them back to the 40 at 2nd and 11. Uh-oh, we're experiencing a little bit of lag here. Okay, we are back. Hopefully this does not disconnect. We do not want that. Oh, and we disconnect. What a blow. This sucks. Wow.
Damn, that's rough.
What? This is the first time that I have ever had a disconnect during one of my games. This sucks.
Really?
So, yeah, absolutely. Every broadcast game I've done, it's been a little bit slow, this and that, but this is the first time I've had anything as far as kicking out like that. So that sucks. That sucks for both guys because, I mean, you know, Brent had a 7-0 lead, driving down the field. Gotta love those EA servers.
Gotta love the EA server. Here was take Brent's momentum away. They're going to load back up. It's going to be a whole new game. You no longer have that momentum on your side. You're no longer flowing the way you normally do. It's going to be tough to come back and play. It's kind of like a rain delay in a real game.
It really is. And one thing to kind of keep a look on, you know, this is kind of a home game for the Saints. This is not too far from where they're at. And I know some of the Falcon fans made a couple comments in the chat about them being in winning their Super Bowl there. They really don't want to see that. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of a home game for the Saints. So what I've always seen in Madden is that the home team always kind of carries a little bit more momentum than the away game. I feel like as an away team, you have to do a little bit more. It's never been proven, but I've seen it firsthand.
You know, you're not wrong. I think the home team has some advantage in this game. I know it's not a huge one. It's not like the old school NCAA football to where you could get the crowd going and the tougher stadium you played at, the better off your team was. No. But I do think some of that momentum sits on your side. I do think you get some home field calls. I don't think it's too different. I just don't think Madden tells us that they're doing it.
No, you're right. At this point, it's one of those things where it's like they'll never admit it. I mean, there's some stuff that we could talk for days about it, but the most important thing is, like you said, the momentum that Brent had has been completely taken away. I don't know. They're trying to decide, I guess, at this point, and they're trying to get it back or where they were. But all I know is that even if they get it back to like a 7-0 lead with him, you know, driving the ball, it's still going to be hard to be able to actually get back that momentum. And I mean, is that something you think that he may lose?
You know, I think he's definitely going to, you know, but here's the thing. When you have a future first ballot Hall of Famer at quarterback, we really can't count anything out or guarantee anything. When you got Drew Brees on your side, you always have a chance.
Absolutely. Yeah, when you got Drew Brees, especially the time he was getting. But you started to notice, one thing I started to notice is that those last drives that they had, they were getting a little bit more pressure on Drew Brees. So they may have started to kind of figure out where the weak holes in that offensive line were.
You know, that's the thing. You got to get into the game, got to get in the flow of it, and find out who's that weak tackle, who's that weak guard, and then you got to line up Khalil Mack right on him and say, let's go get it every single play. Especially in this game, if you're a good user of the D line or the D ends, you can beat a pretty good offensive guard or offensive tackle 60% of the time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And one thing that, you know, we're going to have to take a look at, you had asked me, you said, what other players have to step up? I think it's going to be Bruce Irving. I really think that now that Brent sees how good Khalil Mack is and how much of a game changer he is, he's probably going to have ID to Mike and try to get some double team on him, maybe set the running back to block. But you're going to see those type of the one thing about Dawson is he likes to mix up where his blitzes come from and where his guys are on the field, so that way you can't like go after that one guy if he's on the right side or if he's, you know. So that's going to be something interesting to look at. I really think that the secondary is definitely going to have to step up, and they're going to have to guard that tight end, because if not, he's going to have over 100 yards guaranteed.
You know, if you continue to leave the outside, hey, 1 second, I'll be right back.
All right. Aries is about to go whoop his kid's ass, so while he does that, I will kind of talk about one thing I want to talk about is, like, this was really a good game. One thing that I really didn't think was going to happen was Doss was going to get kind of shut down on his offense. I mean, he had a couple good plays, but man, that run game is non-existent for some reason, man. They do not want to block that run. I saw, you know, the Saints kind of come in with no type of blocking or anything. So, yeah, that's basically what we're looking at. Now, it sounds to me like they're going to try to get back to where they were. They're going to set it back up, and then we can go live again. So I think at this point, we are probably going to be right back until they get their game to where they need it to. So you guys stay with us. We'll send out notifications as soon as they kind of get the game back and going and where they want it to start. And then they're going to let me know. Once they do that, then we will go ahead and start streaming again, and we'll get you back live for this game. So give us about roughly 5-10 minutes, and we'll be back.